I'll share with you too that I'm a musician, and as a musician, I consider the pinnacle of musical expression to be a state of mind where everything I experience in my inner landscape, in other words, music that I am imagining, is produced in the physical, in real time. See, this is the beauty of spending time on an instrument and getting to the place where you have technique so that you can express anything that's going on inside. In this way, extraordinary musicians do two things. They're able to produce a high vibration state of mind, and by connecting with a part of themselves that is musical, that has dedicated thousands of hours to perfecting that instrument, because of this, they get to express to the world around them exactly what they're creating on the inside. I guarantee that if there was a way of looking carefully, of listening closely to your own inner landscape, of being incredibly present to what is happening beneath your daily moments, we would find that you have available to you orchestras and musical creations and ideas and perceptions that would be nothing less than a blessing for many. I believe we're all connected in the most fundamental way to what we might think of as artistic flow, to be a realized creator. That's your ultimate destiny. This may take an entire life just to get through these stages and this growing. In fact, it may take several lives or maybe 100. Numbers don't matter on that level. But however many lives the Earth School requires, your ultimate destiny is to be one with this fully realized creative spirit, self, soul. I like this idea because it helps me to relax. It's very easy to get stuck in our own stuff and our own expectations or our regrets or misgivings, or we can have ideas that torture us about who we should be, right? But to realize that my ultimate destiny, there's no other way it can go. My ultimate destiny is to be a fully realized, creative Daniel Christofferson. No different from anyone else. Now, with this understood as a fundamental truth, I can relax. I allow myself to make mistakes. In fact, it's easier for me to loosen up and try radical ideas, try imagining in new ways, because that's the ultimate artist's journey, is to imagine in new ways. The way I see it, most people who don't pursue a creative path that somehow connects to their soul, most people only exercise a very small amount of their capacity to imagine. It's really not required. The only way most people use imagination is to torture themselves with worry or ideas about the way the future can go horribly wrong. The way I see it, this is what makes geniuses and masters and mystics and gurus fascinating, is that they are able to imagine in a multitude of ways. They are not limited by the official narrative, by the way we're supposed to think and see, because that's what conditioning does to us. It tells us what to see. So obviously all of this is connected to state of mind. That's exactly what Mahatma Gandhi spoke of when he said, "Be the change you wish to see in the world." Being the change is about a state of mind. And it's just fun to see that there are so many parallels between enlightened activists or enlightened truthers like Martin Luther King Jr. and Mahatma Gandhi, and people like Leonardo da Vinci and Nikola Tesla and Bach and Beethoven. In both cases, the sharpest tool is the ability to imagine, the ability to control state of mind. Even a cursory view of the most extraordinary creators and minds and brilliant thinkers in history shows us that those who are able to imagine in different ways, those whose imaginations have been set free, those whose imaginations have somehow survived programming. And the fun part of all this is that each of us has opportunities in our daily life, by changing almost nothing, to become more aware of what's on the inside, to become aware of the river that seems to run beneath the ground we stand on, that is a continuous flow of creation. And we can become aware of these things simply by watching our thoughts and listening. Listening doesn't happen when we're texting or giving our attention to our phone. Listening doesn't happen when we're listening to music. Listening has nothing to do with music. Listening is only possible when we create space in our mind, in the internal landscape. Silence is where everything happens. Do we really think that when great creators had their pivotal, history-changing moment, they were thinking about the reasons things need to be like they were yesterday? And it seems to me that conditioning, and certainly our institution of education, clamps down on human imagination in all possible ways. And remember, Mahatma Gandhi advised that we be the change we wish to see in the world. This calls for the human function of imagination, because the world I wish to see is not the world I am hearing about each day. So it looks like Mahatma Gandhi was encouraging imagination, and Albert Einstein said imagination is more important than knowledge. And it's hard to separate imagination with state of mind. In a sense, it's one and the same. Anyway, these are ideas that continue to fascinate me.